Clue Crew, this is Julie plus Cats here. I know this video has already been done a couple of times with people looking into the official newsletter for April 2023 for her interactive, but I wanted to look a little bit closer at it as well. I saw some interesting things in the newsletter, I guess. Some of my information, of course, comes from some of the other great streamers and content creators on the internet that make content regarding Nancy Drew, like GoobaandJetpack or Calina from StoryRetold. I think Hugh Miller also did some, and then also ND Walkthrough. So I've been looking at a lot of different things. Just wanted to go over a few of the things that I've been seeing. I have it pulled up on my screen here. I do actually get the Nancy Drew newsletter, but I've been subscribed for years. I played Nancy Drew games since I was in 4th grade. I'm 30 now, so like, so this is the official newsletter. And April is our fan favorite month, is the thing that it says at the very top of this, which is kind of interesting to note, because I don't really feel like that's ever been something that's been done before, fan favorites. So I wonder if that's like a new marketing strategy, like April is fan month. I'm not really sure what that means. One of the interesting things I noticed is that you can click on this to download. I'm not sure why, because it says Nancy Drew turns 93. April is fan month. Okay. So we know Nancy Drew's turning 93. She was created in the 1930s, of course. So 1930 exactly. We have a visitor. Hey. But April is fan month. I don't really recall them ever having done something like that before. So I do wonder if maybe since you can download this, if there's something hidden in this picture. I would not be the person to check for that. It is like a floor tiling, sort of looks like, you know, like a kitchen or a diner or something like that. Maybe a fancy place. Looks like marble tiling. So that's kind of interesting to note. Then we have down here, we have Happy Birthday Nancy, celebrating 93 years of Nancy Drew, who debuted on April 28th, 1930. Another thing you can just download. We'll go ahead and pull that one open too. 93, yay. So I wonder, maybe it's just clip art or something like that they're doing. Maybe there is something more to these images. Not entirely sure. There's 5 balloons here. Maybe that means something. Who knows? Or maybe that's just Canva. I know that Calina was saying that they use Canva images all the time. I mean, slay. Canva images are great. I do love them. The interesting thing I find right here is that Nancy is highlighted twice, but Drew isn't. So I'd assume if they were just wanting to emphasize Nancy's name, they would highlight Drew as well. So Nancy what? Like why is Nancy highlighted? Why is that highlighted when none of the other text is? A lot of people have already pointed out, of course, that if you go to the merch store page, there's some new Captive Curse products. I'm not sure if I'd be able to find them really fast or anything. Maybe it's not there anymore. Nope, it's still here. So there were like 3 of these things that were made for Captive Curse. So there's a die cut sticker, 20-ounce stainless water bottle, stainless steel water bottle. Move it up here so you guys can see, and the jigsaw puzzle. What is weird about this design in particular? Well, it's literally just the game cover wrapped around a water bottle or in a jigsaw puzzle or a die cut sticker. It's just kind of a weird choice for merch. Generally companies, if they're making actual merch, they're going to try to make it as on brand as possible. They don't want it to look like cheap or anything. And I'm not saying this looks cheap. Like I love the box designs and everything. But this would not probably be something that a company would do for merch, especially like on the water bottle. It looks kind of cool. Wouldn't lie. I would love like a Curse of Blackmore Manor one or something. But like on the jigsaw puzzle, it's just kind of a weird image. It doesn't look clean compared to some of the things. So I think there's something definitely going on there. And you can see they can change the color of the background, which is nice. But it just doesn't make sense that, you know, like we have all this little text here. Like that doesn't really seem like a merch thing. That seems more like there's something going on with these products because they don't do it for any other game. And if they were going to sell this actually as merch, they would do it for more than one game. Also, the Captive Curse seems like a very odd one to target. I am saying that it's an interesting choice because it's not one of the top favorites. Like if they were going to introduce cover art puzzles, which I could see them doing cover art puzzles more than the entire box, you'd think they'd do one of the fan favorites like Treasure in a Royal Tower, Curse of Blackmore Manor, Secret of Shadow Ranch, those ones. So the interesting thing is, inspired by the resident castle trickster who loves April Fool's Day as much as us. That's obviously talking about Lucas, the child. So maybe if this is pointing to Nancy Drew 34, maybe it's going to involve a call from Lucas in some way or something like that, which could be interesting. I have seen some suggestions. I'm not going to speculate too much on like where I think the mystery is going to take place or anything, because I'm not sure. I need more information. But it could be a European country. It could be a country that has a Germanic language if there's so much of a focus on the captive curse and different things like that. Someone had suggested Denmark, I saw, which would be interesting for sure. I'm not sure of any Nancy Drew mysteries off the top of my head that would be set in Denmark. But yeah, so it's an interesting thing to note. There was also stickers. Nancy, where did you come from? Lucas, I was hiding behind the drapes. Nancy, what is this? Hamlet? So that's the other thing that people were suggesting leads towards Denmark, I think, was the fact that it references Hamlet. And Hamlet, of course, is the Prince of Denmark. Being an English teacher, I know that very well. So it could be cool if there was some sort of form of Shakespearean vibes to this. But then there's also that aspect, which we'll get into a bit later, of the technology. So I don't know how you mix Shakespeare and technology. I would be impressed to see how you do that, though, because it'd be cool. Those are the two starred items here. The other items around it really don't have much to imply that they would be important. They're items that have been on the merch store for quite a while, like Sunny June's field research notes, the Waverly Academy bottle, the Nancy Drew hat, mug. So that's kind of interesting to note. And then we move on to the Nancy Drew trivia. Again, you can download. So I wonder if that's just a functionality thing with the images in general. Like when they add them into the email, you can easily download them. Another tile setting, though. So I'm definitely thinking we're going to a place that is going to have tile on the grounds. This could be flooring and everything. So good to note, good to note. Then we've got Nancy Drew trivia. What does Nancy make to calm Minette? Tea, boba, coffee, hot chocolate. It's tea. What type of tour does Nancy take when visiting Salem? A witch tour. Where does Nancy find a meteorite? In the alchemy lab. In which game does Nancy have a personal laptop? That's Danger on Deception Island. What did Camille Hurley like to collect? That's dolls. What does the R stand for in Silent Spy? Which is Revenant. Where does Nancy meet a pet cat? In Titusville. We've got some more tile over here. This looks like more like it's part of a wall. But the most interesting part of the trivia for sure is the highlighted letters. And you can see we got a THIRTYFOUR. Okay? So 34, Nancy Drew 34, Midnight in Salem was number 33. So this seems to imply, and Her Interactive has been saying for a really long time, there is another game in the works. This is not the end of the Nancy Drew games. I think we all kind of lost hope for a while, but it would be interesting to see where they're going to take this, especially with the feedback they've gotten after Midnight in Salem. It's your day, Saturday, April 1st morning. Now, we know what this is now. They posted the letter below in sort of like a video reel on Instagram, on all their social media feeds, and it just didn't have the red letters that are in the next letter. So we'll look at that more closely in just a second. I just wanted to take a second to look at this. We can see like a nice morning sky in the background. These look like sun rays, almost remind me of that light bulb above. The tea is interesting. It makes me think of Minette's tea, but it also makes me think of, oh, they've got the tea for us. It also really interests me when they say it's your day, our day. R is underlined in that. It's very much emphasized. So I don't know if that's intentional. I'm not really sure what it's your day means. Maybe because it's the fan month, rewarding the fans and everything. Not entirely sure why they included the letter in this email if they meant it to be a big reveal on Saturday, April 1st. Because, and this is why, like, I'm confused about this part in particular. It doesn't make sense for them to send this out and give us this little note and everything unless there was more of a reason for why we're seeing that video again. And the only thing I've noticed so far has been, oh yeah, the letters don't look colored in the Instagram post or anything like that. But it says, "Dear fellow sleuths, my birthday's coming up this month and I've been thinking real hard about something I could give you," emphasis on you, "to thank you for coming along on every case." Why is that you emphasized? I don't know. It just seems weird to emphasize that you. On every case, I have been told that I'm not the best gift giver, but I figured I could let you in a little secret. I'm picking up my magnifying glass again and already packing my bags. Join me on my next great mystery. Be on the lookout for our case file. Can't wait. Love, Nancy. So we got the traditional paper. We got the dear whoever. Love, Nancy. Very traditional. It's that desk. You can tell it's that desk from back in the older games, not Midnight in Salem. So could that mean a return of the desk? Honestly, if you just told me that, I'd be thrilled. But the red letters, my birthday is coming up this month. You've been hacked. Exclamation mark. Now, originally when this first happened, people were like, wait, what? What do you mean I've been hacked? What do you mean I've been hacked? Like, everyone was thinking like, okay, first of all, maybe this is an April Fool's Day prank, which would not be super classy on their part. But also people were thinking like maybe Her Interactive got hacked and a fan sent out this email. I do not believe that would be the case. First of all, we would know something by now if it did, but I had a hard time believing it when I saw the email. If it had just been a post on Instagram or something like that, I would have probably been like, I'm sus. Because they archived all their posts. Bands, artists, musical artists will do that when they have something coming up. I know that Jetpack had asked Gooba about that, and Gooba had mentioned that. And it is absolutely true. A lot of musical artists will archive all their old posts and everything to make room for the new album. They did that on their Instagram in preparation for putting this reel up. But you can still see all their posts by clicking on the link in their Instagram. You can still see all the old posts. So it is archived, but you still have access to them. Now, this letter, on the other hand, saying you've been hacked, was a little suspicious, but at the same time, everything in this email is branded as Her Interactive generally brands. Aside from the colors, I know that Calina from StoryRetold pointed out that the colors are a little different branding, but it's not anything that's shocking to me. It's not anything that super surprises me. Generally, companies will stick with certain like fonts and everything and same general look. If someone were to just hack them, it'd be pretty challenging for them to come off as authentic in that way, I feel like, because I'm pretty used to seeing Nancy do newsletters. I would probably know if something was off. So you've been hacked. We start to think that could be about the mystery. Again, Mystery of the Seven Keys, the game that they had a patent license for, was being thrown around. Could be computer keys, something like that. So that's interesting to note. Don't miss another social post. You'll never know what we post next. I just want to highlight this, make sure there's nothing missing. Little winky face. They're being coy right now. They know where they've got us, wherever they want us, which is fun. Shop our spring storefront and add to your Nancy Drew merchandise collection. Okay, why is spring highlighted like that? I don't know. But Amateur Sleuth over here is also highlighted like that. So, but nothing's highlighted here. I'm looking at the highlights. Then we got the trivia answer, which is the little guy, mystery guy with the magnifying glass. Not sure what that's supposed to mean, but that's also the email they used in their Instagram post. Then we have hidden clues are the key. So we know that there's clues in this. This is something Calina pointed out. Thanks, Calina, for pointing that out in your video. We know absolutely that there are hidden clues in this email and probably in the Instagram post and all of that. So it really just comes down to seeing what people are going to find. I'm really excited to see where they kind of go with this. I know there's been a lot of speculation about April 28th because that's Nancy Drew's birthday. It would make a lot of sense for them to announce something then. However, I also feel like we'll be getting a little bit more of something a little bit sooner than that. And the reasoning for that is because if they wanted to post this now and then go completely silent on their social media page for what, about 3 weeks, that would not look good for the company. People are going to get bored of the puzzle and people are not going to be invested as much. So I feel like we may not get everything we want. It may be like a game trailer that comes out on that day. It may be information about the game, like the name or something like that. But I feel like they might be dropping a few more puzzles, or at least I hope they do, fingers crossed, in the weeks to come. So I'm going to be keeping my eyes peeled on their social media pages, of course, just like a true detective would. But I do actually think it's really interesting that so many of these, I'm looking at this one now too, and I realize they're tiling. Everything's tiling. So, secret passageways maybe? Who knows? Lots of flooring. So that could be a clue. Flooring. I do not understand why they're showing so much flooring in this post. Like, why? What's the point? But yeah, guys, I would love it if you guys would let me know your fan theories in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know how you feel about this. Are you excited for a new Nancy Drew game? Are you skeptical that a new one is actually going to come out? Anything you want, because I know a lot of you have been here through the long, arduous process of waiting for another Nancy Drew game for 4 years, and then Midnight in Salem, and then there was no news if another game was coming out. So I really want to hear your opinions. What do you think? What are things that you've noticed? Let's work together as a Clue Crew and try to figure this mystery out. But yeah, until next time, guys, peace.